So this is some of the coverage we got last week. Why it's displaying like that? So I think this coverage was fine. It's always good to get earned media for what you're trying to do. But it's frustrating because Kevin West says he wrote the bill after seeing a situation in Tulsa where a truck drove through a crowd of people on the highway. The driver was not charged in any crime. So, like, what's wild about that is it is already under current law basically legal to run people over with your car. Like, saying you'll remove liability and giving, like, a ton more discretion to a driver. And it's very evident from the video of the Tulsa incident that the driver was just an a-hole. Like, just didn't want to wait, was mad there were people there, and decided to just plow on through. Like, there at no point were the protesters targeting his vehicle. I mean, one of the legislators completely lied, said it was a horse trailer, and they threw smoke bombs at the horse. I mean, it was a closed trailer. There was no horse. Like, I mean, like, just the whole story was just fucking made up. And we have video. Like, we know exactly what happened, and you can tell from the way the guy's driving. It's like, you know, he kind of idles up. Everyone's like, "Hey, what are you doing? Like, we're marching here. Wait your turn." And he just, like, you know, keeps moving forward until he's, like, pushing people with his car. And it's just sort of like, that's bad. And what's more aggravating is that we've sent to the media multiple times the videos of the far-right psychos saying, you know, calling this the "I will tread on you," or, you know, "license to kill," I think is one of the ones we've got now that they say. I mean, so it's like they'll justify it saying, like, well, you know, it's if something else happens, but, like, they're calling for violence. Like, that's what's happening here is, like, you have right-wing elements in our society calling for violence, and we're just saying, let people protest. Like, it doesn't happen very often. They're blocking a street. Get the fuck over it. Let it go. Like, anyway. But the legislators get to sit here and say stupid shit like this, where they're basically not telling the truth, and you know, I mean, it's just, it's so stupid. I mean, it's so dishonest because they're obviously calling for violence. So either Kevin West is a moron, which, you know, coin flip on that, or he's just fundamentally dishonest and wants to run people over with cars, which, again, you should just come out and say that. Like, if that's your deal, if, like, we should just settle our conflicts by running people over with cars or shooting people with guns, like, just say it. It's like the dog park incident the other day. If dogs fighting in a dog park is something, you know, we think should be settled with extreme violence, like, just say that. Like, because that's what all these laws do, is when you remove liability, when you give guns to every single insane person who wants one, like, that's what you're saying. You know, us on the left, or people who want a different type of society, we say, you know what? We need to find better ways to solve our conflicts. And, you know, we should create better avenues for doing it. So anyway, it's really hard to get this conversation through to the public conscience, but we're trying. Yeah, and what annoys me is like, you know, this reactionary element of our society, and, like, going back to the city council elections and all that, is this is not poor people. Like, it is the people who had the money to fly to D.C. to buy a bunch of, you know, cosplay, military-grade gear, people who could get a bunch of Trump swag, people who could stay in hotels, people who could hire attorneys afterwards to deal with their incredible, insane legal problems. Like, these are very well, I mean, many of them are very well-off people who just don't want to be told no. Like, that's what this comes down to, is there is a, and what's obnoxious is when they're negotiating, they're assholes. Like, these people, like, deal with them all the time. Like, they're just jerks. Like, they're just like, I want what I want, and I'm going to fight to get it. And my deal is, like, you should just expect the same in return. Like, that's my argument is, like, you know, like, if you don't want to do anything about police violence, then, you know, maybe you get your road blocked, or maybe you get, you know, people shouting at you occasionally. or if you don't want to fix economic inequality, or like, go into this, what, Athena's mentioned in chat, maybe we just shut your shit down, have a strike. It's a negotiating tactic. Like, most people that go and have strikes, they would prefer to just sit down at a table like civilized humans, and you give a little, I give a little, we negotiate this out and get what we want, which is a concession based on some evidence. But instead, it's like the people with all the power are just assholes and just like, no, we can't do this. We're too stupid to do this, whatever it is. And the people at the bottom are just expected to fucking take it. And guess what? They don't have to. At any point, they can rise up and say, nah, we're done. And like, my deal is like, rich people know this, like, because this is how they deal with each other. I mean, yeah, they may play a few rounds of golf and they may have attorneys they hire that duke it out. But I mean, like, the legal system is incredibly adversarial. So I mean, like, these people are used to going hard at each other. It's just when poor people will go hard at them, or when marginalized people go hard at them, suddenly it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. We got to pass a bunch of laws dictating exactly how you talk to us. And it's just annoying. I mean, it's like, just go hard. Like, both sides should be able to go hard, and, if you have a good argument, fucking make it.